if you look at the differences in the investment thesis and the skill sets that are required, it's a very different skill set that's required between investing in projects versus investing in or acquiring portfolio companies that are part of the supply chain into an infrastructure project. They're certainly related, and you certainly need to understand the feasibility of those projects. But from an infrastructure fund perspective, where you're investing in projects, you really need to understand the project finance market, and that from that perspective, the structure of the investment can take all different shapes. It can be straight equity investments. It can be there are infrastructure focused private credit funds. So there's a lot of flexibility around the structure. And in most of those cases, you are partnering either with other private organizations or public agencies. So really having knowing the ins and outs of those assets and the various parties that are also interrelated in the success of that project is critical. And then on the companies that are providing the part of the supply chain into those projects, whether it's company producing rebar, company producing reflectors that get built into a highway, anybody who's providing products or services that are going into an infrastructure project, that looks more like a traditional private equity investment, in which you need to understand the company, need to understand the contracts they have that are going to be advantageous in the current market, where we're going to see a real rise in infrastructure spending. But I think also, if they are companies that are tied to infrastructure projects, they're going to be funded in part by the latest infrastructure bill that we hope to see, at least in draft form sometime soon. There will be additional criteria that these companies will need to meet because they will become almost overnight federal contractors in a way. So there will be the cybersecurity, the D&I, a lot of criteria that they need to meet to be part of these projects. So it's not just the traditional skill set of a private equity firm. They really need to understand from a broader perspective, what it really takes to be successful, and not just those investing in infrastructure projects, but those who are in building and part of the supply chain of these projects, because the criteria is changing.